Today, we bring you the heart-wrenching stories of celebrities who have tragically lost their children. These stars have faced every parent's worst nightmare, a nightmare that sadly became their reality. Let's take a glimpse into the lives of these brave parents who have had to endure the unimaginable pain of losing their children at a young age. Former Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis is grieving the tragic loss of his 28-year-old son, Ray Lewis III. The younger Lewis, who followed in his father's footsteps and played college football, passed away on June 15, 2023. His brother Rahsan expressed his sorrow on social media, calling him a true angel. The Virginia Union University community offered their condolences, praising Lewis III as a great young man and teammate. The cause of his death remains unknown. Comedian Ricky Smiley is grieving the loss of his son Brandon, also a comedian, who passed away due to an overdose. In a heartfelt video on Instagram, Ricky shared the tragic news and requested prayers for his family during this difficult time. Let us all join in supporting them in their sorrow. Tina Turner mourns the loss of her youngest son, Ronnie, who passed away at 62 from colon cancer. She shared a heartfelt tribute on Instagram, remembering him and expressing her sorrow. This marks the second child the music legend has lost, following her son Craig's tragic suicide in 2018. Sadly, Tina Turner also passed away on May 24, 2023. Nigerian Afrobeat star Davido faces a heartbreaking tragedy as his 3-year-old son drowned in his Lagos home's pool. Emergency services were called at around 10 p.m. on October 31, 2023, but couldn't save the child's life. The 8 staff members at the house during the incident have been questioned. British actor Tim Roth and his family have announced the heartbreaking news of their 25-year-old son Cormac's passing due to cancer. Cormac, a talented composer and guitarist, fought stage 3 germ cell cancer for a year before peacefully passing away on October 16. Described as a vibrant and kind-hearted individual, Cormac's spirit brought joy and hope to those around him. Our thoughts are with the Roth family during this difficult time. Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley, opens up about the grief she's carried since losing her son Benjamin Keogh to suicide in 2020. In an open letter, she shares her experience to help others going through similar loss, discussing the avoidance she faced and the intense guilt she felt. She encourages support groups and urges people to reach out to those who have lost a child. Tragically, Lisa Marie Presley passed away on January 12, 2023, following cardiac arrest. Sinead O'Connor's 17-year-old son, Naveem Nesta Ali Shane O'Connor, was found dead in Ireland after being reported missing. O'Connor expressed her devastating loss on Twitter, urging her son to come forward and reassuring him that his life was valuable. Sadly, Shane tragically decided to end his own struggle. O'Connor mourns her son's passing and hopes that no one else follows his example. Nick Cannon, a popular entertainer, recently shared heartbreaking news about the loss of his youngest child, 5-month-old son Zen. The infant had been battling a rare illness called hydrocephalus, which is a malignant brain tumor. Despite the tragic circumstances, Cannon expressed gratitude for the time he had with his son, mentioning that they got to witness both the sunrise and the sunset together. Zen was shared with model Alyssa Scott, one of the women Cannon has fathered children with in recent years. Action movie star Sylvester Stallone had to deal with a tragic death in the family as well. Sylvester Stallone, the renowned actor, is mourning the loss of his son Sage, who tragically passed away from a heart attack at the young age of 36. Sage, who was also an actor, shared the screen with his father in the movie Rocky v. 1990, touching hearts as they portrayed a father-son relationship. The actor is another father who had to go through a parent's worst nightmare. He lost his 16-year-old son, Jet, in 2009, after he suffered a seizure. General Hospital stars Jack and Christina Wagner tragically lost their son Harrison to addiction. His body was found in a parking lot on June 6. They tied the knot in 1993, split in 2006, but remained friendly. Jack continued acting in shows like Melrose Place, The Bold and the Beautiful, and When Calls the Heart. They also have a son together, Peter, and Jack has a daughter from a previous relationship. Rapper and entrepreneur Master P is mourning the loss of his 25-year-old daughter, Tidiana Miller. While the cause of her death remains undisclosed, Master P emphasized the importance of discussing mental illness and substance abuse. He requested privacy during this difficult time and expressed gratitude for the prayers and support from others. Together, with faith, he believes they will overcome this tragedy. Australian musician Nick Cave has tragically lost his son, Jethro Lazenby, at the age of 31. The frontman of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds confirmed the heartbreaking news, stating that Jethro had passed away. Lazenby had been working in the fashion industry and had some film roles, but also had a history of run-ins with the law. Prior to his death, he had been released on bail for substance abuse treatment. This loss comes 7 years after Cave's other son, Arthur, also passed away at a young age. Reality star Brooke Bailey, from Basketball Wives, announces the heartbreaking death of her 25-year-old daughter, Kayla. Sharing the tragic news on Instagram, Bailey expressed her undying love for her daughter. The grieving mother expresses gratitude for the overwhelming support from her fans and acknowledges the outpouring of love her family has received. Cristiano Ronaldo and girlfriend Georgina Rodriguez shared heartbreaking news on social media, revealing that one of their newborn twins, whom they were expecting, has passed away. They expressed their deepest sadness and pain as parents. Ronaldo thanked doctors and nurses for their care and support and asked for privacy during this difficult time. The couple found strength in the birth of their baby girl. They declared their eternal love for their baby boy, who they referred to as their angel. Jane Campion, director of Power of the Dog, opened up about the loss of her baby son and how it affected her work. She expressed that the grief experience left her stunned and unable to work for a period of time. Campion described the experience as humanizing, bringing a sense of solidarity with others who have experienced grief. She believes that her work stems from this emotional part of herself, where she is not in control of her emotions. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella and his wife Anu are mourning the loss of their son Zane, who passed away at the age of 26. Zane, who was born with cerebral palsy, required specialized care throughout his life. Despite his nonverbal communication and wheelchair use, he brought immense joy to his family. Zane's passing is a tragedy, leaving behind memories of his love for music and the happiness he spread to all who knew him. Kill Bill star Michael Madsen and his family are mourning the tragic loss of their son, Hudson Madsen, who was just 26 years old. Hudson, who was also Quentin Tarantino's godson, reportedly took his own life. The devastated family expressed their heartbreak and asked for privacy and respect during this difficult time. Hudson's memory and light will be cherished by those who knew and loved him. Regina King, renowned actress and director, has tragically lost her son, Ian Alexander Jr., who sadly took his own life at the age of 26. In a heartfelt statement, King expressed her devastation and highlighted Ian's compassionate nature. Ian, a talented musician and DJ, shared a close relationship with his mother, often displaying their bond on social media. Let us honor their memory and respect the family's private time during this difficult period. In tragic news, musician Chris Daughtry is mourning the loss of his stepdaughter, Hannah Price. After canceling his tour dates, the family has now revealed that Hannah passed away due to suicide, while under the influence of drugs. The statement disclosed her lifelong battle with mental illness and struggles with substance abuse. Despite their efforts, Hannah found herself in abusive relationships. Remembered as loving and generous, Hannah's memory will forever be cherished by her loved ones. Let us respect their privacy during this painful time. Bobby Brown, known for his musical success, has unfortunately faced yet another devastating loss. After the deaths of his ex-wife Whitney Houston and daughter Bobby Christina, he has now lost his 28-year-old son Bobby Brown Jr. Tragically, Bobby Jr. was found deceased in his Los Angeles residence in November 2021, likely due to an accidental overdose. Robert Redford, esteemed Hollywood icon, mourns the loss of his son James Redford. James, co-founder of the Sundance Institute and a talented documentary filmmaker, passed away at the age of 58 after battling bile duct cancer in his liver. This tragedy marks another heartbreak for Robert, as he had previously lost his first son, Scott, to sudden infant death syndrome in 1959. A devastating loss for the entire film community. Musician Melissa Etheridge mourns the tragic loss of her 21-year-old son, Beckett Cypher, who died from an opioid overdose. Sharing her heartbreak on social media, Etheridge expressed the profound pain she feels. The guitarist and singer had to deal with a devastating loss in his life. Tragic news involving music legend Eric Clapton today. His 4-year-old son, Connor, unfortunately fell from a New York building where he resided with his mother, Lori Del Santo. Many may recall Clapton's heartfelt song, Tears in Heaven, which was inspired by this very loss. A devastating incident for the renowned musician, and our thoughts are with him during this difficult time. Prince is still one of the most important musicians in the history of music. In a tragic turn of events, Prince and his wife Maite Garcia are mourning the loss of their newborn son. The couple welcomed their child, boy George Nelson, but sadly he was diagnosed with Pfeiffer syndrome and passed away just a week after birth. A heartbreaking loss for the musical icon and his family. Vanessa Redgrave, the renowned actress with a remarkable career, faced personal tragedy. Despite her success, she had to navigate the devastating loss of a loved one. Actress Vanessa Redgrave, known for her outstanding performances, faced a tragic loss in 2009. Her daughter, Natasha Richardson, married to the talented Liam Neeson, sadly passed away at just 45 years old due to a skiing accident. A devastating event that left the world mourning. The boxer's private and public life has not always been easy. His 4-year-old daughter Exodus died of accidental asphyxiation back in 2009. Sir Charles Spencer, Charlie Chaplin, had to cope with the death of 2 sons. Tragic news surrounds the iconic actor Charlie Chaplin as he faces the loss of not 1, but 2 of his children. Norman Spencer Chaplin, his firstborn, tragically passed away just days after birth. Furthermore, his son and fellow actor, Charlie Chaplin Jr., aged 42, sadly succumbed to a fatal blood clot in a lung in 1968. Devastating times for the Chaplin family. The model, actress, and 1993 Playmate of the Year had a turbulent life. Tragic news surrounds the life of the late Anna Nicole Smith. Following the heartbreaking loss of her 20-year-old son, Daniel, to an overdose, Anna Nicole herself faced a similar fate just 5 months later. Details on these alleged overdoses remain somber and concerning. Singer, actress, and host Marie Osmond had to cope with a tragic loss too. Marie Osmond, the well-known personality, faced a tragic incident in 2010 when her adopted son, Michael, sadly ended his own life. In a heartbreaking turn of events, he jumped from an 8th-floor window. Rapper Dr. Dre has had a wonderful career, starting in the late 80s. Dr. Dre, the renowned music producer, mourns a heart-wrenching tragedy. His 20-year-old son, Andre Young Jr., has passed away from a fatal overdose involving heroin and morphine. The unforgettable actor is another star who had to deal with a shocking death. Marlon Brando's daughter, Cheyenne, tragically took her own life in Tahiti. This came years after her half-brother, Christian Brando, fatally shot her abusive boyfriend at their father's home. A devastating series of events for the Brando family. Academy Award-winning actor Paul Newman lost his only son in 1978. Actor Scott Newman, aged 28, died of a drug overdose, Valium and painkillers, after he suffered a motorcycle accident. Vince Neil is another musician who had to cope with the death of his child, in this case his daughter. Skylar Neal passed away at the age of 4. She had stomach cancer. Johnny Carson, the renowned TV host and comedian, was known for his incredible talent. Yet, he was often dubbed as the most private public man who ever lived. He is another parent who tragically lost his son. Richard, aged 21, died in a car accident in 1991. Rob Delaney. Another famous comedian, another father who tragically lost his child. Rob Delaney, the well-known actor and comedian, suffered a devastating loss in 2018. His precious 2-year-old son, Henry, sadly passed away after battling a brain tumor. This heart-wrenching event led to an outpouring of support for Delaney and sheds light on other celebrities who have tragically lost loved ones.